what to do when you're dealing with the scale, as in scale weight. Obviously, scale weight can mean a lot of different things. And I'm here with Nadine with the Fitness Joint, personal trainer extraordinaire, former fitness competitor, and she's going to talk to you, obviously, more about the scale. And I would say, personally, men don't care as much about the scale, even though I think we do more than we let on. And it's a bigger issue with women, and not trying to be sexist by any means, but I think it's a more...
It comes up a lot in my
challenging struggle with women in the scale. So let's have Nadine share with some of the things that you might be thinking about that you don't even realize that's not good in relation to your scale weight.
Well, the first thing is I want to say that I learned this from my fitness competition, because when I was at my heaviest and at my fitness competition, I weighed I was only 5 pounds lighter for my fitness competition. And I think for most people, if you were to see the before and after picture, they'd be like, that was only a 5 pound weight loss. Of course it wasn't a 5 pound weight loss, but I put on muscle and I lost body fat, and my body composition completely changed. While I'm not training people for the most part to do fitness competitions, that also happens to people who start exercising. They start exercising, they start eating more protein, they start putting on more lean muscle and losing body fat. So if you put on lean muscle...
So I think what people need to understand is, on a scale, you're weighing your fat, your muscles, your bone, your brain tissue,
water weight,
all kinds of different things that the scale doesn't represent actually how fit you are, how in shape you are. Even though I think most people want to weigh a certain amount of weight, they have a set thing they want to weigh. And so it's hard to take that away from somebody and say, hey, look, well, your body fat is amazing, because I think most people, body fat is kind of a confusing term.
It really is.
Like, it's hard to grasp. It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, I think bottom line is, if we stop looking at the scale and we just look
at the entire picture?
Well, in the mirror naked.
Oh, well, that too. The entire picture, right?
Because if we were like, damn, I look sexy, or great, or whatever you want to call yourself.
Damn, I look sexy is what I say.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
I mean, I use the sexy too, right?
I knew it.
Couldn't help it. So, sometimes I'll go good, because I don't want to sound too conceited to myself.
This is a safe space for
you. That's good.
Okay.
But if you're in the mirror, but even the mirror lies to you too, because we have psychological stuff going on. Because some days I'll be like, man, I look amazing. And other days I'll be like, I look fat.
And it's
go ahead.
Yeah, I do too. And it's especially when, not to be graphic, but if I haven't gone number 2, you're going to look a little poofier in that area. That's true. Bowel movements matter.
I agree. I was thinking more from a psychological standpoint.
Oh, well, that too.
Right? Because mood changes, your energy affects all that stuff. And so if you're not feeling it that day, you probably don't feel great in the mirror as well. And that's why, like, when you work with a trainer and they measure your body fat, they measure your circumference measurements, and they take before and after photos, and I get it. Everybody hates to do their before photos, because let's face it, you're not coming to the trainer because you love the way you look, right? So, but it's extremely valuable as a tool for you and the trainer to look at the difference between the before and the afters coming along. So weight doesn't obviously provide that. So weight is like, think of it as like one tool in your toolbox. So you just have a screwdriver, but if you need, I don't think that analogy works, so let's just scratch that completely. So at the end of the day, it's just one measurement. So you need multiple measurements. And also, I think when we get a little crazy in our heads, it helps to have those multiple measurements to be like, well, I guess I am, 19% body fat, or I guess I am, 10% body fat. And so there's some logical stuff that sometimes allows you to help yourself realize, like, I'm on the right track. And
it's okay to give yourself credit for the work you've achieved. I feel like a lot of times, just because you haven't reached where you want to be exactly, it's hard to acknowledge the progress that you've made. So that's a really important thing to remember.
I think the big challenge is, right, when we set a goal to, let's say, lose 20 pounds or to get in shape, people don't realize if you do it right, with dieting and adjusting your calories and your macros and all those things and working out, it always takes much longer than we obviously want it to.
Yeah.
And to get those last little pounds off, it gets even harder than in the beginning when you have a lot more to lose.
Right.
And so, what did we learn about the scale?
Are you asking me?
Oh, yeah, totally. Unless somebody else wants to answer.
Well,
you can leave those comments below.
Yeah, definitely leave comments. The scale doesn't give a complete picture. It's like you said, it's one tool, and there's many other tools to go by. Do you feel better mentally? Are you stronger? How are your clothes fitting? Are you eating healthier? All of those things matter. So you may not see the change on the scale, but changes are happening. So like he said, you need to use other resources to get the full picture. That includes what I just mentioned, measurements, body fat, and we can use the scale. And also I noticed your improvements. If you could only do 10 squats before and now you can do 20, that's amazing. You're getting stronger, building more muscle. That may not show up on the scale, but that does not mean you're not getting progress.
Also, Nadine, what are some things that also make the scale fluctuate?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, if you use the bathroom or not, that's a huge factor. Second, especially for women, is hormones. Hormones fluctuate, and so does the weight. The amount of water you've had, sodium, if you had a high sodium day with food, or maybe you had some frozen foods and you don't really know about the sodium intake. If you've had enough fiber, if you've had the amount of carbs you've had, the type of carbs you've had. I mean, it goes on and on. Stress, lack of sleep.
When you have carbs, it has a big component to storing water. So obviously, if you're trying to weigh yourself on the scale and you consume a ton of carbs, or for example, let's say you have pizza and a soda, like a liter of Coke, which hopefully you're not doing that because that's not going to help your fitness journey. But let's just say you do that. Well, the next day your scale weight will be much higher because of the component of water you store when you consume carbs, and it makes you more fuller and all that great stuff. Vice versa, if you get rid of carbs out of your diet for 5 days or longer, you're going to drop a lot faster on that scale, but doesn't mean your body fat's going to change or any of that stuff. So also, Nadine mentioned some stuff about hormones and all that great stuff. So when women go through their menses, obviously Nadine knows more than that, and probably way more appropriate to have her talk about it than myself. So let Nadine take it from here.
Yes, it's no secret that whenever you're about to start your menstrual cycle, and also during, you can put on between 3 to 7 pounds. So of just water weight, water retention. So there alone, the scale is going to be off, and you definitely don't want to be weighing yourself during that time.
So I think that's your worst enemy. Obviously, and I don't know this, I'm not a woman, I don't plan my cycle, right? But you can plan it and see, so you know that time of period if you weighed yourself every day. Another thing is you should always just use the same scale. You shouldn't be using your friend's scale, then using the gym scale, then using your scale. Always use the same scale so it's calibrated and it doesn't change, right? That's going to cause some issues if you do, but you weigh yourself every day as a woman, I think around every other 28 days, correct me if I'm wrong.
Roughly.
Yeah, that you're going to see a bump, could be as high as 10 pounds or more, but ballpark in that range.
Yeah.
So that will definitely be your worst enemy if you're like, what happened?
But Scott, wait, there's more. There's more to this.
You're kidding me.
No, there's more, because during our menstrual cycle, it's not uncommon to crave carbs. So now we have the menstrual cycle and the water retention from the carbs that you'll want to eat during this time. So like, if there was ever a time to not weigh yourself, it's during this week. And I think girls know that, and they still weigh themselves because, I don't know, the torture for them is enjoyable, so but don't.
Psychologically, if you can handle it, go for it, but if you can't, just like hide your scale, lock it under a lock and key, make your spouse, significant other, partner, just steal it from you, but then they have to track it. But you can put it in a calendar so they know like that week is just no scale time.
Yeah, don't do it.
I crave a lot of dark chocolate. I guess I do it all the time. But
freaky.
Yeah, no, totally. I guess I crave sweets, but at the end of the day, like I always set stupid little rules for myself to stay healthy. So I'm not allowed to have any sweets unless it's dark chocolate or doesn't have dairy, doesn't have gluten, all those things. So it's rules to limit myself, but there are also so many great options out there nowadays.
There are great options, but I do want to say Scott is way more structured on this than I am, I just go ham on all natural peanut butter and have like 3 servings. And then
could be dangerous. I think I'd eat the whole can.
I sometimes go further than 3 tablespoons. But
how many calories are in a tablespoon of peanut butter?
Well, I know a serving's 2, it's 200. So, and I have at least 3. So that's like half. By the time I'm done, that's my calorie intake.
So just know your math, right?
Yeah.
If you math 200 times 3, what is that, Nadine? 600, right?
Yeah.
So 600 calories in just 3 tablespoons?
Yeah.
That's not much peanut butter, folks. So be careful.
I don't recommend it. I'm just saying that's kind of my thing.
Just understand, everything can affect that scale weight.
Yes.
Have other measurements, have a support network like Nadine, a trainer, a friend that can kind of speak to you in logic and go, hey, your measurements have gone down, your body fat has gone down, so don't get caught up with the scale, right? Like, chill out. So remember, and that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
It is a tool, and just understand it's a tool. Just because you fluctuate in weight doesn't mean the life is over and you should give up on your diet and your fitness journey also. Fitness and health and dieting to the body fat or weight or whatever you want is going to take time. It is going to take discipline and determination and commitment. So just stay committed, almost like a crazy person.
Almost.
So you can reach your goals.
I love that. I'm here for it.
Awesome. Her link's in the bottom below, and you can go to her channel, follow her. You can obviously like and subscribe. You can hit the notification bell. At the end of the day, we appreciate you, and hopefully this helps at least someone out there to become more sane and understand what scale weight means and how it can fluctuate. And like I said, we hope that it helps you.
I hope you guys helped you, and we'll see you very soon.
All right, take care.
Bye.